Hello everyone, in this video I'll be explaining the problem best of two, and let's continue with the series roadmap to become competitive programmer 5 star. So yeah, Alice and Bob are playing a game. Each player rolls a standard 6-sided die 3 times. The score of a player is calculated as the sum of the two highest rolls. The player with the highest score wins. If the both players have the same score, the end game's in a tie. Determine the winner of the game, or if it is a tie. Okay, so they've given input format wherein we have test cases. So let's deal with the test case. So this is the way we deal with the test case. So for every test case we are going to call a function which is solve. So they've said in each test case we have 6 separated integers a1, a2, a3, b1, b2, b3. These are basically the values of Alice getting her 3 die rolls, followed by the value which Bob gets in the 3 die rolls. Okay, so let's take a1, a2, a3, b1, b2, b3, and let's take their input a1, a2, a3, b1, b2, b3. So we have taken their values. Now let's understand the examples and see. We have 325611. So let's understand this. So they're saying we have a 6-sided die. So as you guys know, 6-sided dice has 6 faces, and the numbers on 6-sided are like in each side we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So whenever you roll a die, you'll be either you'll be getting a number in this range from 1 to 6. From 1 to 6 you'll be getting numbers. And what they're saying is we have Alice and we have Bob, 2 players. So she, like Alice, she'll be throwing this die 3 times. So let's say a1 is the number she have got when she thrown the dice for the first time, and a2 is the number that she have got when she threw the die for the second time, and a3 is the score among 1 to 6 that Alice has got when she threw the die third time. So among these three, whichever has the highest two values, that is basically calculated as the score of the Alice. In the same way, Bob does the same thing, and among these three, the highest two values, highest two sum values are scores of both the player. So in this case, we need to find the score of, let's say Alice, we'll call as A, and score of Bob, let's say as B. So if you find that score of Alice is greater than score of Bob, so definitely Alice is going to win. If score of Bob is greater than score of Alice, definitely Bob is going to win. Else, you know what? If score of Alice is equals to score of Bob, then there is a tie. So we need to find if Alice is winning, or if Bob is winning, or if there is a tie. So in the first example, they have given Alice scores, Bob score for the first time, Bob score for the second time, and this is for the third time. So among these three, if you see which are the highest, two highest, this is first highest, and this is second highest. In the same way, in Bob case, this is first highest, and this is second highest. Since both are equal, you may take either this is second highest or this is second highest. So in order to find the score of Alice, which is like first highest, second highest, which is going to be 5 plus 3, which is 8, and score of Bob is going to be first highest, which is 6, and second highest, which is 1, which is going to be 7. Clearly, if, in this case, if you see score of Alice is greater than score of B, so in this case definitely Alice is going to win, right? So in first case Alice is going to win. In the second case, let's see, 445641. we have double 4, 5, 6, 4 and 1. So these are the scores. Now in this case, if you see, this is the first highest, and you may take any among these two. So I'll be taking, let's say, A2. This is second highest, and among these in the Bob's score, this is first highest, and this is second highest. Now in the score of Alice, you need to find what is the score of Alice. That is going to be first highest plus second highest, which is 5 plus 4, and it's going to be 9. In case of Bob, so score of Bob, if you see, that is going to be first highest plus second highest, which is 4 plus 6, which is going to be 10. So in this case, clearly, if you see, score of Bob is greater than score of Alice, which means in this case Bob is going to win, right? So yeah, now let's deal with the third case. So in the second case, Bob is going to win. Let's consider a third case, wherein we have 5 times 6 and 1. Which means Alice score, first highest score, you can take choose among any these three, and second also you can choose any. And among Bob, this is the first highest you can think of, and this is the second highest. You can choose this way also, like this is the first highest and this is the second highest, both the same only. But if the score of Alice is going to be 6 plus 6, which is 12, and score of Bob is going to be again 6 plus 6, which is 12. So in this case, if you see, score of Alice is equal to score of Bob. So in this case, there is a tie. So how do you find it now? So this problem is easy, but you'll have to implement in a way that is very easy. So one of the ways that you just find the first highest among A1, A2, A3. You'll have to find the first highest, you'll have to find the second highest. So for that you'll be using if else condition. But one of the way that I'll be doing is, you find the score of Alice to be, find A1, A2, A3, all the scores, and you subtract with the minimum of A1, A2, A3. You subtract with the minimum of A1, A2, A3. It's like you're adding all the three, and minimum among these three, A1, A2, A3 is 6 only. So this 6, the minimum whatever you have here and the minimum whatever you have in A1, A2, A3, that is going to be cancelled, and you will be getting the sum. In the same way, for the SB score of Bob, now if you're going to see, just find the B1, B2, B3 score and subtract with minimum of B1, B2, B3. So your score will be 6 plus 6 plus 6, and the minimum is, if you can see here, you have 1. So this one and B3 was 1. This one is going to cancel, and your score as 12. So it's easy, right? You don't need to find first highest, then second highest. You just need to find the minimum, the lowest in Alice score, and lowest in Bob score. So whatever the minimum, we just add these three and you subtract the minimum. So mathematically it's valid, and this will give you the answer. So let's try to code it up in this way, and it is an easy way. So let me call SA as score of Alice, and which is going to be A1 plus A2 plus A3, and we need to subtract minimum of A1, A2, A3. When you have more than two elements in the minimum function, you put in a flower braces the multiple elements, more than two. So this is going to work. In the same way, we need to find the score of Bob. So that is going to be B1 plus B2 plus B3. You subtract with the minimum, B1, B2, B3. Now accordingly you have to find the answer now. If let's say score of Alice is greater than score of Bob, so you need to print Alice. Else if score of Alice is less than score of Bob, so definitely Bob has won. So we'll have to print Bob. Else, if score of Alice is not greater and it is not lesser, then definitely it is equal. So you don't need to check equals to, by default it is equal only. You'll have to print tie. At the end, just write the and else statement, which confirms for every test cases the answer printed in a separate line. So we should be getting Alice, Bob and tie. Indeed we are getting. Let's try to submit. Here it got accepted. So in this way you got to easily solve the problem. Basically find the sum of all the scores and then subtract with the minimum, and accordingly we just find the which one is greater. So thank you guys for watching the video.